Welcome to this week's Minnesota Resort Sales Outdoors. We're up at the 22nd Annual Veterans Fishing Day, hosted from the Silver Bay Vets Home. And Jim, you're one of the captains here, and you've been doing this from day one.
From day one, Dan and I started this event in 1992. And what it is in a nutshell is up to 18 charter boats take out veterans from 4 of the 5 veterans homes in the state of Minnesota. We take them out for a day of fishing and have a wonderful lunch afterwards, shore lunch with what we caught.
And this year we have 4 of the homes with us, Silver Bay, Minneapolis, Hastings, and Fergus Falls.
You guys stay tuned. It's going to be a really, really special show. Minnesota Resort Sales Outdoors will be right back. I'm here with Ward Wallen, and he's going to explain just a little bit about the big unload happening here for the 22nd Annual Veterans Lake Superior Fishing Trip.
Well, we get our guys up from Silver Bay. We get them up about 3 a.m. and Minneapolis and Hastings Vets Home will be here any minute. They stayed in 2 harbors overnight, along with Fergus Falls. And so a couple of our buses just came in, and our nurses will check on their needs, and then we'll start loading them out on the dock.
I was inspired by going to the Vietnam Wall for my first trip out there. I met up with guys I served with over there, and I wanted to volunteer for veterans when I got home. This whole thing started with me and a fellow Vietnam vet from the Army. I was in the Corps. Dan is the Army veteran that worked at the Vets Home that had Ward's job, who's now retired. He and I set this whole thing up, and that's when I went to get more boats, and I can't thank him enough.
Jim, being the charter boat captain himself, had contact with other charter boat captains, and I had the means to fund portions of it and the names of volunteers. In fact, is when we started, we had too many volunteers, and that's, as of 22 years later, we still have too many volunteers. We have to turn some very good people away, but they want to do something for the residents of the homes.
These guys here, Barry and Dick, they're both retired, but I wanted them here for the recognition they well deserve. Dave Martin on the end there, he's one of the mainstays. He's always in.
I just want to get back to the vets. They've given a lot, some more than others, but
Right.
Mm-hmm. And Jim Christensen for your work and the wonderful donations we're getting now. This thing is pretty much assured to go on until we're all on canes, like you two guys, or worse. But if it's still going when they wheel me in up there, then I get to go on some guy's boat, and I pity that guy, because what are you using that for? That'll never work.
Exactly.
Barry,
I've been a charter captain for 15 years. I did it for the 15 years.
Later, he was one of the original guys.
Captain Pete, yep,
Yeah.
he was original.
Captain Peter was, yes.
And now, like with Pete, he's got his boys doing it. I've got my boy. In fact, my boy at the Silver Bay Nursing Home. I'm kind of proud of that because that's my son.
Jim Lotfila knew some of the masons up in Silver Bay and 2 harbors, some of the past masters up there, Dave Hoole. And Dave got a hold of me and he said, this is a great event. We're taking veterans out on charter boats, and I said, we need to get involved. The local lodges in Grand Marais, Silver Bay, and 2 harbors were raising money to help with this. It's just a great thing that these charter boats are doing, these captains are doing for our veterans, and it's been just wonderful since we started doing this.
Could certainly use more organizations like yours donating to the cause or participating in some way.
Well, they're giving of their time, they're giving of their boats, their resources. We're just donating money. I mean, we got to give them so much credit. It's awesome. It's wonderful.
This was my highlight of the year, was taking the vets out.
It is.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Some of these veterans, they're in wheelchairs, and we're helping them reel the fish in, and the big smiles on their faces. It's great.
It's been known for a long time. It's the most anticipated event for the residents of our veterans homes to come to this. It's their most anticipated outing that they wait for. And so that was nice for you to say that's your most anticipated event is to be a captain on the deal.
Yep.
It is. So looking forward to tomorrow. I know I get to go chase you guys around in our boat. It'll be a fun day.
It will be, yeah.
Maybe you want to come out in my boat with me.
Well, I don't know. I think I was planning on going home with the wife tonight.
I'll be your first mate. Come on, let's go.
Thing to say, this event has got in every year in 22 years. We've got it done. There was one year, several years ago, we got up at 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and this marina was dark with thunder, lightning flashes, booming, 40-mile-an-hour driving rain. And I said, we can't go out there. We're not going to do this. I call it off. So we're all in this little building here in the clubhouse, like wet rats. No, nobody's going to do this. We can't do it. It's not safe. And so then Dan Smestad, who helped me start this, he says, well, maybe we can do it later in the year. And I looked at all of these guys and I said, I can't ask them to give up another day. Somebody said, well, I'm not busy in September. How about doing it then? And then the guy next to him, that captain, says, yeah, I could do it in September. And it went right down the line. So these guys doubled up that year, gave 2 days for this event just to get it done.
The vets are fun to have on the boat.
Just so we bring back as many as we took out.
There you go. Yep.
That's important.
Well, here we're up close on one of the vets. They got a fish on, net's out. There you go, you can see the fish at the back of the boat. Looks like a salmon. It's a blast for these guys, huh, Big Dave?
Oh, it is. It's a blast.
Like you said earlier, better than sitting in the home looking out the window, right?
The most fun they've had since last year they were out here, I'm gonna imagine.
I suppose these guys just look forward to this one day a year.
They say they do. Nice fish.
One of the boys had fun pulling that in. There's a
Yep,
nice shot.
that's a nice
Beautiful.
shot.
Is that one of yours there, huh?
That's one, yeah.
Holy cow, let me get hold of them for you. Did you have to pull that in by yourself today?
Oh, I help.
They helped the captain and the first mate gave you a hand, huh?
Right.
How many fish did you guys get today? Remember? 5 or so, 6?
5, 6, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it was a good time at least. A little windy out there today, wasn't it?
It started up this afternoon.
Oh yeah. So how do you like getting up at 4 in the morning?
I used to do that all the time.
Not that you're retired though.
No, right.
I don't blame you. It was an early morning, but it was a good time. You'll be back next year, won't you?
I sure will.
Bring a bunch of friends, why not? So that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. there's the fish count. It's not totally done yet. Still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boats to show up with their bags. Everybody had fun, even with a little wind.
It got rough after a while. We just started trolling this way because I wasn't going to turn. I wasn't going to turn sideways to the 4-footers. These guys both reeled in, what, 3 fish apiece? 4, he had to steal.
4 fish? Just you?
He got 4 by himself.
4 by yourself? Well, you caught more than our whole boat.
Yeah, we had a double right away. 2 salmon, bing, bing.
You thought, great.
Yeah, so we went through there about 6 times and nothing else. So we moved on and then got a couple here, a couple there. And this gentleman, a fellow Marine, my brother that way, was on our boat 2 years ago and caught fish. And so we were glad to see him.
3 fish sitting right there in that chair, right out the door.
Yep.
That's the way to do it.
4. Oh yeah, just perfect actually.
$15 a pound in the store.
5 and 6. So for the board, are you in charge of the board? No. Whoever's in charge of the board, we got 6 here, but we caught 7, Ward. No, we got the picture to prove it, Ward.
I have the marker, Jim.
Don't make me come over there.
Well, here's Gil. Today, Gil got the big fish of the day. What do you think? How big? I saw the fillet in the fish cleaning house when them guys went in there.
Yeah.
He figured it was close to 16-pound lake trout. How'd that feel when you were reeling that in? Did it feel like 16 pounds or 60 pounds?
16.
So are we lucky enough to be sitting here with the oldest fisherman of the day?
As far as I know.
As far as I know.
Yes, I'm 99.
You were here last year.
Yes.
What, you were telling me a story last year. You got the big fish trophy.
Yeah, I did.
What'd you end up with?
A lake trout, 19.1 fish. This big.
Did you need help or did you do it yourself?
Oh no, I did it myself.
Well, next year it'll be a big party, I suppose, for you. 100 years old. Maybe
Well,
you'll get the biggest fish.
If
and the
I'm
most
here,
fish.
by God, we'll have one.
I'll be here. Here's a prime example, you guys, John and Mark, a boat owner and a boat captain. How many years you been doing this for the guys?
This is 7th or 8th year.
Yep.
And you're the owner of the boat?
Well, I'm the owner of the real escape boat, yes.
And you're the owner of this boat?
Yep.
So you guys donated both the boats today?
Yep.
So you only had 2 guys, but you ended up with 5 fish near the top of the board, didn't you?
That was on this boat.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep. Yep. We had 5 total, lost 2, broke a braided line. It was, they usually don't break, so we had a pretty good fish on.
That would have been a nice one to see, huh?
That would have been fun, yeah. But yeah, our guys had a great time. It's a good event. It really is.
It's a blast, yeah. I had 3, excuse me, 3 guys, and we ended up getting only 3 fish, but at least each guy got one, so they were all plenty happy.
The charter captain that actually helped me out today has already asked if he can work with me next year already. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
And he is planning on moving to Florida. So
Oh, yeah.
he will fly back here for this event.
Yep.
That's amazing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Jay Hansen, he owns the Winona. You guys are based out of where again?
Based out of Silver Bay.
Silver Bay. And you donate this entire day to this event for the vets?
Yes.
How many years have you brought the boat up?
I've been running my own boats at this for probably about 15 years.
It's amazing. Yeah. How many guys did you have on the boat today?
Today I think we had about 35 people on the boat.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It was a full house then.
Yeah, it
Of
was
course,
pretty,
this boat has a capacity of what you told me.
about 97 people. We can take 97. We do like wedding parties or groom's dinners, things like that. It works out fairly well. But it's best, you know, for mixed groups, we usually try and keep it down around 65, give a little bit more space and things like that. Started last year doing the scenic cruises up out of Silver Bay, and this year we said, why don't we just bring the cruise boat and you can throw as many people on as you want instead of taking 6 or 8 people. We decided that it's just a lot easier if we can take as many as they have. So we appreciate them allowing us to be here.
Yeah.
You know, I know they're always appreciative of it, but for us it's more of an honor to be here.
Well, it's pretty awesome that you guys donate all this to these guys because they all deserve it. We know that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, here is Colleen Wallen, and you are the...
Recreation Director for the Minnesota Veterans
Well,
Home Silver Bay.
your husband, Ward, said you're the brains of the operation.
Yeah.
You keep all the wheels greased here, right?
I get everybody, Ward gets the list of boats, he gives it to me. I go around, my staff, my rec staff go around to each and every resident, every veteran, and say, do you want to go fishing? Do you want to go on a scenic boat? And if we have 17 boats and 80 guys that want to go fishing, we make it happen.
There's so many moving parts. We've been here for 2 days now. It's like there's London Road Rental, for example, doing the tents. You get tons of donations and tons of different people helping in various areas.
Yeah.
Like I know Ward is, or not Ward, but Jim rather, is in charge of the boats to a certain degree.
Yeah. He's in charge of the boats, making sure everybody is a legal charter fishing captain.
Right.
We make sure that there's enough buses that drop people off and enough buses to pick people back up. We also have 2 veterans home buses that we fill. So every van, bus available in the county is all down at the lake today.
How long have you worked up at the home in Silver Bay?
I've been there 15 years.
15 years?
Yeah.
So you've gotten to know all these vets and they're phenomenal people.
Oh, they're phenomenal people. The volunteers are phenomenal. We get them loaded. We have our guns from the Vets Home, our maintenance guys. We have Ward, we have the rec staff, we have our social worker, and they, whatever kind of wheelchair they're in, it's up and over from the dock onto the boat, safely down, and they can stay right wherever they're comfortable fishing.
We saw a lot of that today.
Yeah, yeah.
One guy in each corner, up and in.
Yeah.
And these guys are smiling,
yeah,
going in the boat, and
yeah,
they're smiling coming off.
Yep, and the fish get on, the captains hand them the pole, they reel it in.
Yep.
And it's a great thing. We bring the fish in, and Chuck Ospos and Les, there are fish cleaners. I'm rinsing the fish, I bring it over, and our whole kitchen staff is down here frying the fish, salads, buns, and our tents are up, and everybody has a good lunch, the charter captains included.
I mean, it's a big event, you know, like yesterday we got here a day early so we could meet the captains. You guys had a little dinner for the captains.
There was over $9,000 in donations alone last night.
Just for this event?
Just for this event and for the recreation department. My department operates on donations.
That's it?
That's it. So we do incredible fishing trips like here today. We have a boat, a pontoon boat at Lax Lake. We have an ice fishing house. We go to Veterans on the Lake in Ely. We scout moose in the boundary waters by float plane. I mean, whatever these guys want to do, I say, all right, we can make it happen because there's donors out there that want to make sure veterans are living right.
We'll be back next year.
Thanks, I hope so. That'd be good.
On the grill.
You got it.
With onions and butter and dill. There you have it, folks. Another episode of Minnesota Resort Sales Outdoors. Like I said earlier, it's not always about resorts, RV parks, and campgrounds, or for that matter, catching fish. Today was a great day with a bunch of great veterans and tons of extremely dedicated volunteers. If you have the opportunity, we want you to log on to the website and phone number at the bottom of the screen and support these great veterans. We'll see you next week. If you'd like to be a part of an outstanding event honoring the veterans of Minnesota through the Silver Bay Veterans Home, Ward, people can help out, and how can they do that?
They can help us out financially by sending their donations to the Veterans Home in Silver Bay to help fund this great event. This is our 22nd year, and we're hoping to have many more.
Log on to the website, call the number on the screen. Look forward to your participation.